Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to another episode of Pax's Little Library of Horrors. Today I am going to be talking about Donald Has a Difficulty by Peter F. Neumeyer and Edward Gorey. Hopefully I've said Peter's name right, I've done my best. But this was a very charming book. I've read it before and I'm just going to share it with you now. It does have a a dust jacket on it, but when you take it off, it's exactly the same as the cover of the book. So for this video, I will remove it so I don't damage it in this video. And the pages on this book are very thick. They're kind of like cardboard. So when you look at it, it does look intimidating, but it's shorter than it appears to be. Another time, Donald had a splinter. And there's a picture of Donald holding up his leg. And I'm like, why is he holding up his leg if he's got a splinter? It entered the calf of his leg when he pushed a tree. And it's like, okay, maybe if you're like climbing a tree and your leg kind of scrapes up against the tree, then okay, fair enough, you're going to get a splinter in your leg if it's rubbing up against the tree. But he's pushing against the tree with his legs nowhere even near it. So I'm like, how did he get a splinter in his leg if his legs aren't even making contact with the tree in the first place? Donald's mother felt his hurt keenly. She prepared to remove the splinter from Donald's calf. So there she is, kind of a praying position there, saying, oh, why is my son so stupid, and please God help me. And there's a dog here, and obviously Donald. And I found this out in well, I've noticed it rather in Edward's stories and drawings rather. He uses a lot of patterns in his decor. So, and the dress and the carpets. She arranged the tray with instruments. So, just gone to the table, preparing to operate on her son. She asked Donald to sit on a footstool, and she took Donald's leg on her lap. So, here you go. Preparing to get the splinter out of his leg, which I've still no idea how he did. She told Donald to think of other things. And this is a picture there, and she's got a needle in that hand and a lit match in the other, and the idea is to light the needle so it gets really hot. And I like Donald's expression. He's like looking directly at you with kind of a, oh shit, kind of expression on his face, like, oh my god, what's going to happen now? This is really going to hurt. He's like, he looks really, really scared and worried. So going back to Donald's mother telling him to think of other things, and it carries on. Off markets has pots and pans, and the dog is in one of the bowls. Of battles, and arrows going overhead, and this cloth which has these 4 legs, which the dog is underneath trying to hide from being hit by an arrow. Of strings, and the dog's walking on these strings. And with very good light, she worked to remove the splinter with a needle. And she's about to operate with the needle, and Donald's looking away so he doesn't have to look at it. I think that's what I do when I used to have injections. I didn't like needles going inside me, so I just always like looked away or clenched my fist. So if I looked away and I didn't see it, it didn't really get scared and think, oh my god, this needle's about to go in me. Or if I clench my fist, I can focus on doing that rather than the needle entering my arm. Tweezers, which use his tweezers. Donald's mother had success. She showed the splinter to Donald. And they're both happy, saying, "Yay, we both did it." He opened the box that he might keep the splinter safely. So he's got a box on his lap, about to put the splinter in it. And I'm like, why would you do this? It's going to be microscopic. It's going to be very, 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 very small. You're not going to see it. Okay, fair enough. It might be covered in blood, so that might make it more easier to see. But why are you keeping a splinter? Okay, it might be your first splinter, so it might be like your first tooth coming out. But kind of a weird thing. Why would you keep something that gave you discomfort and pain? He began to walk away, glad to be free of the pain. So, he's walking away with the box, with the splinter, and his mum's like, looking all somber. Donald's mother called him back. "We must put alcohol on the wound," she said. So he was like, "Oh, okay, there is more." Now, for the second time, Donald had to sit on the footstool. Again, Donald had the calf of his leg treated. So she has some cotton wool in her hand, probably soaked in alcohol. He forgot to think of markets, battles, strings. When Donald's mother touched the wounds with cotton, dripped in alcohol, or dipped in alcohol, Donald shouted loudly, "Oh my, how that hurts." And yeah, there he is. He scared the dog. And he's like, "Oh, that hurts." And the mum's like, "Oh, sorry. And I'm like, thinking, okay. If something hurts someone, you're more likely to drop a bunch of F-bombs rather than saying, "Oh my, how that hurts." Can we please use that when we get hurt, saying, "Oh my, how that hurts," rather than dropping a bunch of F-bombs? Donald's mother then got pillows and made Donald comfortable in a chair, or in a deep chair. You're making her little wounded soldier all comfy. When he only had a splinter that was so small she had to use tweezers to get it out. It's not like he fell out of a tree and hurt himself. "Neither the needle nor the tweezers hurt," she said gently. "Isn't it strange how it hurt only when we put alcohol on the wounds?" So she's there talking to her son, explaining this. Donald laughed about that. He was feeling better and able to take nourishment. So, yeah. I was bringing him some, tea, or coffee. Probably tea. I'm not sure you would probably not sure if you would give coffee to a young little kid. And that is the story. There is a two pages at the back of the book, which is from Peter, I presume, where he discusses his experience with Edward writing this story. And there are a couple of other books from the Donald series which I will definitely keep my eye on, and that is the book. I liked it. It wasn't outstanding, or it was just a little kid getting hurt and his mother taking care of him. It was very sweet. I feel that if Donald's dad was in this, he would probably telling him to man up and actually carry on with life. This one was okay. I liked it, but not as much as the first one I read by Edward. But I like the art style. It's typical of Edward Gorey's style, and the story was, basic. A kid getting hurt and his mother taking care of him. Let me know if you have read this book. Let me know if you've read anything else by Edward Gorey. Let me know if you've read any of the other books in the Donald series, or whatever it's called. I'm really enjoying going through Edward Gorey stuff. I know that this wasn't completely done by Edward. It was probably illustrated by him, because it's got his art style to it. and I'm pretty sure Peter probably wrote the story to it, so it was a collaboration between the two. But this one did have some charm to it. So guys, that's been my video. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you think about Edward Gorey as a whole. And yeah, with all that out of the way, I'll see you on my next video.